Hey guys, what's up? This is Dr. and today it's time to take a look at the artifact talents for the Druid. For the Druid we have only 3 specs we can check. We can check the balance spec, we can check Guardian, and we can take a look at the Restoration. The Feral Druid doesn't have any artifact data. So we're going to start off with balance. So far I want to point out that we did the Death Knight and the Demon Hunter. Not only the DPS spec Havoc of the Demon Hunter. But so far, the most cool artifact abilities are from the Unholy Death Knight. He has a chance to summon, his attacks have a chance to summon extra armies of the dead, and he has a chance to summon a super zombie, which those 2 abilities are ridiculously cool and I love them. And so far the Demon Hunter was okay, but I'm kind of hoping we're gonna see more of those talents like the Unholy Death Knight has, like summoning a super zombie, having a chance to summon armies of the dead, something that cool. I'm hoping we're gonna see that more, because the Demon Hunter didn't have something so cool, and I hope somewhere in this Druid talents today. I didn't take a look until today, so I don't know, but I hope we're gonna see something really cool as well. Now keep in mind, everything is subject to change, about the numbers, about the abilities. It's a very early look, but nonetheless, let's dive into it. So we need to start over here. The golden, the talent with the big golden border is the talent you have to pick as your first talent to start off your weapon. So we have here the Scythe of Elune. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So we start with the Reaping. Alkin Frenzy can periodically trigger without being hit. Now I'm not sure what Alkin Frenzy is right now. I don't know if that's a new talent or a new ability. So I actually don't know, but it has a chance to being triggered again. If that's a cooldown or a very special ability, that's nice. It could be a nice DPS increase. So, we need to select about 4 or 5 talents to choose an elite talent. So the first thing we want to do right now is to check as a balanced moonkin, to which elite talent is the best. So out of the 3 elite talents, we're gonna try to figure out which is our number 1 elite talent, because we want to work towards that as our first choice, as our first elite talent. So we have here Power of Goldrin. Casting Starshot summons the Spirit of Goldrin, who bites the target's soul. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. I have no clue who. I think that's I mean, it's not right now as a moonkin. We don't have the Power of Goldrin, so it's a new ability. I have no clue who Goldrin is. Sorry, I'm not that into lore. So if I'm being really dumbass or stupid over here, then please, you can point that out in the comments down below. But it sounds cool. Casting Starshot summons the Spirit of Goldrin, who bites the target's soul. Sounds really good. I'm assuming it's some kind of a spirit wolf or something. So that could be also a really cool animation that a big spirit wolf is landing next to you and is ripping your target apart. Sounds really cool. Let's go over here. Moon and Stars. While in Celestial Alignment, each spell cast grants a additional 3% cast speed buff. Once again, we don't know how much this is going to influence your character, so I'm just going to take a look at right now from the 3 elite talents which one is the coolest. I'm going to stick with that because we need the theory crafters and the mathematicians to work out which elite talents are the best, and we don't have enough information. All that information is yet to come, so we're just gonna look at which one is the most cool, and then we're gonna pick that one and work towards that. So this sounds okay. It's a 3% extra cost speed buff for each time you're in Celestial Alignment. Okay. So right here, the final one, we have Scion of the Night Sky. Elune Lights has a chance to bless an area, substantially increasing the power of the next 2 spells cast from within it. Okay, I have no clue which one is the strongest, but the coolest one is definitely Power of Goldrin. So that's where I want to go, just for coolness sakes. So yeah, let's have a look. So now we need to select our route towards that, because Blizzard said at the end of the expansion, of the Legion expansion, we can have all the talents, but not as we start out. So from, let's say, we're gonna pick this elite, we're gonna pick the Power of Goldrin elite talent, and we want to work towards that first. So we need to select a route to get there. So the first thing is we kind of have to select New Moon. I mean, we need to choose that. New Moon deals, well, X amount of damage to your current target. Numbers are not out yet, so okay. And the only way we can now proceed is going up. So, Falling Star improves the empowerment granted by Starfall by 30%. Okay, that's a nice DPS increase, man. Okay, we'll pick that. So, now I can make a choice. I can go up to Dark Side of the Moon. That sounds really cool, by the way. I do like that. Increases the critical strike chance of your Lunar Strike by 6%. Stacks out 3 times. Okay. Sounds nice. Okay, sounds like a decent DPS increase. So, I'm gonna check. Before I make a decision, I'm just gonna check which talent is next. Scythe of the Stars increases the critical strike damage of your Star Surge. So right here you're increasing your Lunar Strike critical strike chance, and right next talent you can increase the damage of your Star Surge. Okay, but I can also go from Falling Star to Solar Stabbing. Some really nice names in there. I do like this a lot. Solar Stabbing increases the damage dealt by Solar Wrath by 6%. Sounds like a really solid DPS increase. I rather would take damage of a spell and upgrade that than increase my critical strike chance, because it stays a chance critical strike. So I'm kind of right now thinking about Solar Stabbing, but we still have to check out the route. So we're going over here. Sunfire Burns increases the damage dealt by your Sunfire, and Mooncraze doubles the chance of Alkin Frenzy from the Reaping. Okay, from my point of view right now, and once again, this is all subject to change. I'm going over here, so we're going to take Solar Stabbing to increase our damage. And I'm going to turn off my Origin, because it's a pain in the ass. So we take Solar Stabbing, increases the damage dealt by Solar Wrath by 13%. And then we're going to Sunfire Burns, increases the damage dealt by your Sunfire. Okay. These are minor talents. They're basically what we have seen so far, really boring, just upgrading critical strike chances, upgrading damage, healing, or survivability. So they're not really spectacular, but that's normal. The spectacular things has to come from the elite talents. So we're going to Mooncraze, doubles the chance of Alkin Frenzy from the Reaping. Okay, that sounds pretty good, to be honest. And then we're going to select Power of Goldring. Casting Stars that summons the Spirit of Goldring who bites the target's soul. Yes, please. Sorry. That sounds really cool. That sounds really cool. I'm really curious. I hope it gets a big animation. Like I said, like a big, I don't know if it's Spirit Wolf or whatever it is. Whenever you summon it, it's a big badass thing that rips the boss or your target apart. Would be very nice. So right now, I have to make a choice again. I can go over here, Moon and Stars. Well, in Celestial Alignment, each spell cast grants an additional 3% cast speed buff. Or I can go for Scion of the Night Sky. A Loon's Light has a chance to bless an area substantially, increasing the power of the next 2 spells cast from within it. Basically, just from a basic point of view, here in the Scion of the Night Sky, I have to stand in a certain area. So that limits my movement. So, and this increases my cast speed. So I would go for the cast speed. So I'm going for Moon and Stars. So let's have a look. Because we have different choices to make again. So to get to the elite talent, I can select 2 talents. Twilight Glow, increases the damage dealt by Moonfire. Okay, that's a really steady DPS increase. Or I can go for Empowerment, and I will increase the border of my recording. Improves the damage modification of your lunar and solar empowerments by 6%. Okay, so or only upgrading my Moonfire or upgrading my damage of lunar and solar empowerment. That sounds like a bigger upgrade, just from my point of view, so I'm going to go for this. Sorry, I had to take a quick drink. My throat is still not really good. I'm still having some problems with my throat. Maybe you can hear that in my voice, but oh well. So now we can select Moon and Stars. There we go. Okay, now I have several talents open. I have Twilight Glow, I didn't pick that, but it's still good DPS increase. I have Dark Side of the Moon, and I have these talents over here. So now we need to, we have Scythe of the Stars, and we have all these talents here. So let's have a look, which would be the next DPS upgrade. Basically right now, I want to go to the next elite talent, but you also want to upgrade your character in the right way. Sorry, my throat is really bad. Light of the Sun. Innovate increases the healing of you and your target by 50%. Yeah, it's not a DPS increase. I'm gonna skip over that. Next up, Rejuvenation of Innovation. Innovate increases the healing of you. Oh, we just saw that. Sorry. It bugged out. My apologies. Let's start over. Light of the Sun. Innovate increases the healing of you and your target by 50%. Okay? And then Rejuvenation Innovation. Innovate increases the healing of you and your target by 50%. Okay. So, something went wrong here. It's not bugged because it's showing the right name, but both abilities are doing the same thing. That must be bugged. Maybe one of the talents is not out yet properly, so we're gonna skip over them for now. Let's go to Touch of the Moon. When you take damage, you have a X amount of chance to cast an empowered healing touch on yourself instantly. That's a nice survivability talent. Well, it kind of helps you out on the survivability tree. Do I want that? To be honest, not really. Unless there is absolutely necessary to stay alive. There's so much raid damage going on, or there is so much damage in dungeons that you want to pick that and this. Not really. And let's go down here. Blade Feathers increases the armor granted by your Moonkin form by 50%. So clearly this is your survival talents right here. So it has to shown in raid testing and in dungeon testing if we actually need to select these talents. But you need to get them anyway to get to the elite talent down below. To be honest, I would actually go over here to Twilight Glow first. Increases the damage dealt by Moonfire. I would upgrade that first. I would, let's see, increase the critical strike damage of Star Search. I think I would actually pick Scythe of the Stars and Dark Side of the Moon first. I would finish those talents we skipped first before I would actually move down here. Because these are all very damage increasing abilities, very damage increasing talents. I want to pick them first to upgrade my DPS. So before I'm actually going down to Sign of the Night Sky, I would actually pick all the... I still would do the same route, but after I went to Moon and Stars, I would definitely go for Twilight Glow, then I would go for Sift of the Stars, and then I would go for Dark Side of the Moon, just to upgrade my DPS. So now because these two do the same, this is the same talent, it's not worked out yet. As I said, this is a very early build. I'm going to go for Touch of the Moon. When you take damage, you have an X% of chance to cast an empowered healing touch on yourself instantly. That's very nice. After that, we're going to Bladed Feathers. Increases the armor granted by your Moonkin form by 50%. I would pick that, and then I would go for Sign of the Night Sky. Alune Lights has a chance to bless an area substantially, increasing the power of the next 2 spells cast from within it. It's an okay talent. It kind of limits your movement, because if you have to stand in one place like mages have with Rune of Power, I never like that. I want to be able to move across the battlefield. I want to be able to get out of shit and whatever. If there is fire dropping on my spot, I want to be able to move without losing my DPS. So that I'm never really into those talents. I don't like talents that limit my ability to move around. But regardless of that, Alune Light has a chance to bless an area. I hope that looks really cool. Like, we all know that it could be a very boring thing, like just some moonlight is shining down. No, I hope a big star comes crashing down, like a very big star, and it crashes down upon you and it leaves a big golden circle. And then, or a big white circle, whatever, kind of meteor kind of style, a big moon meteor that's crashing down, leaving a big nice circle which you can actually have some space to move as well. It could be a very cool animation if you just, Blizzard puts enough effort into this. It could look really cool, so it has potential here. I hope the area is big enough to actually, that you can actually move around. The area is so big. Yes, I can still move left, right, and forward and backwards to dodge any mechanic with fire or other shit that's being thrown on the ground, I can still use this talent. Still gonna be viable, and it needs to be looking cool as shit. I mean, let's be honest here. If they make something like a big moon crashing meteorite crashing into the ground and blasting a big fucking area, or setting that area on fire or whatever, would be cool as hell. So yeah, let's hope they make something really nice out of that. And after that, we have 2 talents which are not finished yet. So we'll pick. Can we select them? Yeah, I would pick those as my last talent. So this is my my route as a Moonkin to upgrade my DPS. So first I'm going for Power of Goldrin, just for the fun sakes of it. Then I'm going for Moon and Stars. Then I will upgrade the final DPS choices I have to make, and then I will make my way down to Sign of the Night Sky. So that's the Moonkin done. Let's move over, and we need to go to the Guardian tank, because like I said, Feral, no data yet. I'm sorry, Feral Druids. I'm really sorry. I was very curious, because there could be some really cool shit coming out from Feral Druids. Because if we take a look at the video I made about the Feral cat forms, those look cool as hell. I'm really happy for your Feral Druids. It almost makes me want to play a Feral Druid if you look at how cool these cat forms look. If you change your artifact weapon, your cat form weapon changes, and they look absolutely amazing. So these talents could be very cool, and actually could summon extra copies of your cat form or whatever, or make your cat look even more brutal and do brutal abilities. So I hope they're coming up with some really cool stuff for the Feral Druid. It could be in there. Let's hope. I'm just spitballing here. So Guardian, the tank form, the bear form. So let's have a look. The Guardian Druid. So we need to start with this talent, Blood Claws, because it has the thick golden border. That's the talent you need to start off with. So let's have a look. I'm really curious. Blood Claws. Your melee abilities cause Blood Claws dealing X amount of damage over 15 seconds. Blood Claw reduces damage dealt by 0% and stacks up to 5. So your Blood Claw ability deals more damage, and when Blood Claws is up, you take reduced damage. Your target does reduce damage. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this. And now we have to work out which elite talent we want to pick next. So let's take a look. We have Heart of the Woods. While Barskin is active, you are embraced by the forest. The first 3 strikes that will deal more than 20% of your life are absorbed by the trees. That's a very steady survivability increase. That's an okay talent. So let's move down here. Embrace of the Nightmare. That sounds really cool. So while Rage of the Sleeper is active, it's probably a new ability I didn't heard of yet, you are immune to crowd control and deal 33% increased damage, generate 33% more rage, and at least 33% of damage dealt. So yeah, okay, immune to crowd control. Okay, we don't know how many bosses are having crowd control abilities, but okay, that's the thing. 33% increased damage and 33% more rage. More rage, I'm kind of want to say equals more survivability, because that's how the Guardian Druid works right now. I'm not sure how that is going to work out in Legion yet. And at least 33% of the damage dealt. So you also heal yourself more of attacks. Okay, we have to wait and see how that's gonna work out. Let's go over Adaptive Fur. Elemental damage has a chance to trigger Adaptive Fur, reducing damage from that element by 20% for 15 seconds. So if a boss hits you with some kind of ability, and it depends on, at least this is how I'm reading it. It's like if he does physical damage, or if he deals magic damage or whatever, from those specific attacks, you reducing damage from that element by 20% for 15 seconds. It's kinda, it will trigger on its own. You really don't have control. So my pick would be Embrace of the Nightmare or Heart of the Woods. I don't know how much they will proc. This is when Barskin is active, that's Heart of the Woods, and Embrace of the Nightmares, while Rage of the Sleeper is active. I don't know which is best, to be honest, I really don't know. Those are new abilities. Okay, let's go with Embrace of the Nightmare, so let's work our way down there. So I can choose several routes to get there. The shortest route would be go over here. Ursak Endurance increases the durations of your active mitigation spells by right now 0.01 milliseconds. I'm sure that's gonna change. Sounds really good. Reinforced Fur, to go the other way, is increase the effectiveness of Iron Fur. We don't know all the abilities, but I'd like to have increased the duration of your active mitigation spells. That sounds really good. Let's just go with that. So now I can go down here. Vicious Bites increases the damage of Mangle by 10%. Nice. Okay, it's a damage increase, not a survivability increase, but okay, whatever. Let's take it because we want to go down to this elite talent as fast as we can. So then we get Sharpened Instincts. Increases the effectiveness of Savage Defense by 10%. That's really cool. So we can increase our Savage Defense. That's really nice. Okay, so let's pick that. And now we have Embrace of the Nightmare. There we go. So we have our first elite talent. So between those two, between Adaptive Fur and Heart of the Woods, I will still want to go to Heart of the Woods in my opinion. So let's have a look. So, now again I have several routes to take, so let's take a look at them. We can go up right here, increases your stamina by 6%. That is a steady survivability increase. And then we have to follow this tree to get to the elite talent. So, okay, let's just go with that, because let's take a look over here. Gossamer Roots. Your entangling roots will spread to nearby targets which do not have entangling roots. Okay, that's a crowd control ability. I would rather go for stamina. Let's pick that. So now I want to work towards that elite talent. So I'm kind of curious though, but okay, let's just have a quick look. Reduces the cooldown of bar skin by 6 seconds. Ooh, Perpetual Spring. Sounds really cool. So yeah, once again, Mathematician has to do their work. I just want to focus on the elite talent, how to get there faster, so I'm just going over there. Ion Cannon. Lols. Sounds really cool. When your Moonfire expires, you gain 50 rage. You can cast, if you don't know yet, but in the new... I took a look at the new class abilities. You can cast Moonfire as a Guardian Druid. So, and when Moonfire expires, you gain 50 rage. Okay, that sounds really decent. Then Jagged Claws increases your bleed damage by 10%. Okay, that's a DPS increase. So, okay, let's pick that. Then we have Grasping Roots. Your entangling roots will spread to nearby targets which do not have entangling roots. Okay, that's in there twice, so that still is going to change in the future. But we need to select this talent to get to the elite talent. So let's just pick this. And then we have Heart of the Woods. While Barskin is active, you are embraced by the forest. The first 3 strikes that would deal more than 20% of your life are absorbed by the trees. That's a really cool ability. I do like that. I hope when you get this ability, because it could be just sort of kind improved barkness visual. That would be really boring. I hope when you use Heart of the Woods that you will actually summon a wall of trees between you and your target. So that you actually, okay, I'm popping Barskin, and while Barskin is up, I'm seeing this wall of big, huge trees popping up in front of me, between me and your target, or you and your boss. And then you see that the first 3 hits are absorbed by those trees, and after the 3rd hit, well, only the hits that are taking 20% of your life. But that you will see, well, if they're really huge, they could block your line of sight. But I just hope we're gonna summon trees between you and the boss. Well, let's just pick a boss as an example. So you summon trees, and then you can actually see, by the 3rd time you get a hit that would take 20% of your life, that you can actually see those trees disappear. And then you know that Heart of the Woods did his job. That would be very cool. It could be then a cool visual animation, and it could be, it would actually, without needing to track a buff on you or whatever, or to see if it did its job, you can actually see, oh, I summoned the trees, they're standing in front of me, protecting me, and maybe they should not be too big because they could block your line of sight. But when the 3rd attack happened, the trees are gone. Okay, you know it did its job, the trees are gone, and it would look cool. So I hope Blizzard will pull something off like that. Could be visual cool, and then it could also be a a good survivability ability. Sorry. So right now, a lot of choices to make. So this is when while Barskin is active. So reduces the cooldown of Barskin. We might want to actually pick that before we take Iron Cannon, because then we can use this ability first. Maybe this ability, that was my dog yawning, I'm sorry, she just woke up. If you heard it, I don't know if the mic picked it up, but if you heard it, it was my dog yawning. So mathematicians will show if we should first go for Heart of the Woods or first pick up Perpetual Song. But it reduces the cooldown of Barskin. That is what Perpetual Spring does. That's what I would pick next. So we have the ability Heart of the Woods more often. So now I can choose my Adaptive Fur, because that's going to be a really short way to get to Adaptive Fur. Elemental damage has a chance to trigger Adaptive Fur, reducing damage from that element by 20% for 15 seconds. Okay, I think it's not... 20% damage reduction is great, but let's say a boss does a magical attack first, and it hits you, and then you have 20% less magic damage taken for 15 seconds, and then he switches over to physical abilities. Yeah, okay, by the time he finishes physical abilities, this could be useless. So we have to wait and see how that's going to work out. For the same reason, it could be great. It could be that bosses are designed in Legion that once they're starting with magical damage, they would at least do that for like 15 or 20 seconds. So this could be very viable. I'm just brainstorming here. So right now, what do we have left? We have Reinforced Fur, increase the effectiveness of Iron Fur. We have Wild Flash, increases the periodic healing of your friends with regeneration by 20%. That's big heals. We have Grasping Roots, which is, or this one is going to be, this talent is going to be Grasping Roots, or this one, because we have it twice. I'm sure one of the two is going to change. But we also have one all the way over here, Rage of the Sleeper. Channels the Rage of Ursoc, reflecting 33% damage to opponents and increasing healing received by 33%. Oh, that's very nice. Hammer of, oh my god, Kashgoroth. Okay, I pronounced that right, I'm hoping. Activating Rage of the Sleeper. Stuns all enemies within 8 yards for 6 seconds. Aegis of Agramar. Shield equal to 33% health on activation. Tide Zone on activation. Tide Zone of Golganath. Hot equal to 10% HP. For 3 seconds, lasts 15 seconds. And we have Tears of Elune. Arcane Orbitals deal 10% Druid's HP on contact. I think that Rage of the Sleeper, if you look at the class abilities and the new class, if you go to taking a look at class abilities and class talents, you can select talents from model spec. So I believe if you're a Guardian Druid and you take the Feral aspect, you can get more run speed increase, and if you take the aspect of the Moonkin as a talent, you can do something with Moonfire and increase damage. So this talent, Rage of the Sleeper, basically will adapt to which talent, at least that's how I'm reading it, is that it will adapt to which talent you took in there. That's how it looks. So, but it channels the Rage of Ursoc, reflecting 33% damage to opponents and increasing healing received by 33%. That sounds legit. That sounds like the baseline of it. So, you're reflecting 33% damage and you're getting 33% more healing. And then it depends on which talent, you get something else. So, you have another side effect of this talent is that you will stun enemies. You will get a shield equal to 33% of your health. You will be, you get a hot that will heal you for equal to 10% HP over per 3 seconds, last 15 seconds. Or you get an Arcane Orb, deal 10% Druid's HP on contact. So, because you can select, as I said, as a Guardian Druid, you can select a Moonkin, a Resto Druid, and a Feral Druid ability. You can select one in your talent tree. So this talent will adapt. This is seriously a choice I would like to take. It sounds really strong, it sounds really cool. And if you select one of the other talents, because you can swap out your talents per boss fight, you will get a different ability. And you can now choose between, okay, which talent is going to be very well for me. Do I need to run the run speed increase as a Guardian Druid from the Feral talent? but also which ability do I get then from Rage of the Sleeper. So you can actually, there is some fine tuning in this. There's some really fun choices to be made. So I do like that a lot. So after that I would go for increase the effectiveness of Iron Fur. I would pick this. So that's going to be our next talent. And then after that I would go for Wild Flash. Increases the periodic healing of your frenzied regeneration by 20%. This would basically, and then this final one, Grasping Roots. We already have that over there, but okay. This would be my kind of route. Oh wait, I'm forgetting something. I'm forgetting a talent. Right to the Bare Arms. Oh my god, I didn't see this. Mango increases the duration of frenzied regeneration by 2 seconds. Oh yeah, that's a big one. So I'm going to go back. So how would I go? Let's just redo this. I could edit it out, but fuck it. I still would go like, okay, we're on. This is how we are. So after Adaptive Fur, I would go for Rage of the Sleeper. Maybe I should have picked this earlier. I don't know yet, but just for the sake of argument, I'm gonna pick it right now. And then we have Reinforced Fur or increase the periodic healing on frenzied regeneration, or we have Mango increases the duration of frenzied regeneration. I would go for right to Bare Arms. Then I would pick Wild Flash to increase the periodic healing of your frenzied regeneration by 20%. So increases the duration of frenzied regeneration, and then I would buff frenzied regeneration, and then I would go for Reinforced Fur. This is kind of my route. It all depends on letting it over to the mathematicians and the pro players to select out the proper route of survivability for a Guardian tank, because we don't have that yet. I mean, and keep in mind this is all subject to change, but just to get the fast to the elite talents, I'm kind of assuming here they would be your go-to talents first. So I'm just basing my talents pick on how to unlock the elite talents as fast as possible. So yeah, that's all for the Guardian Druid. I think it's very solid. I think there are a lot of choices to make here, and yeah, I'm okay with it. Heart of the Woods could be potentially visual, very cool. But so far, nothing that is blowing us away is the Unholy Death Knight with summoning a Super Zombie and chances to summoning a extra armies of the dead. Nothing that cool yet. So let's hope Restoration has something really cool in store for us. So let's have a look. Okay, this is Restoration. Gahanir, the Mother Tree, that's the weapon. And now I have to... Oh, there it is. So we need to start with Druidic Touch. Casting a helpful spell has a chance to sprout a patch of flowers at the target's location that heals nearby targets every 5 seconds. Wow, that's a lot of text. So casting a helpful spell has a chance to sprout a patch of flowers at the target's location and heals nearby targets. Okay, so when we cast basically helpful spells, I'm kind of seeing that as heals. Assuming here, it doesn't say healing spells, but helpful spells. Could it be something like Innovate? I don't know. Let's just assume it's heals. You have a chance to sprout a patch of flowers. I don't know if you played in Wrath of the Lich King. If you had herbalism as a profession, you could summon. If it had a ability, if you had herbalism as a profession, and when you clicked on that, you got like a circle of flowers around you, healing you, and there were a lot of healers who actually had that, who picked herbalism because it increased healing done, or it would heal you. I don't know, it was very strong for healers. I hope something like this could be very visual, very cool, like you actually summon, and that was a long time ago, so that if you would look at a graphic right now, it would look very crappy. But back then it looked okay. You see all those flowers sprouting up from the ground. I hope they really do something really cool with this, so that when you have this talent, that when it procs, when Druidic Touch is proccing, that you actually see a big circle with all kinds of flowers really popping up from the ground and really covering an area, so that you have something really cool to look at. That would be really cool, and you could actually see people would know, like, hey, I got a heal, and beneath me there is that big area covered in flowers, so people actually realize they're getting healed up, and they're seeing that beneath their feet, and you want to stay in there, and other people can actually go in there as well to get some healing as well. Would be really cool. Could be looking visual really good, and that's really important that we see some really nice visual animations. I do like that when stuff happens like that, and it's gonna be really cool to see stuff like that happening in dungeons and in raids, and that people actually see that, like, oh, hold on, it procced on that player and he has that circle around him, let's move over there to get some extra healing. Would be very cool. I do like that. So right now we have to select which elite talent we want to have. So let's go over all three of them. Let's move over here first. Power of the Archdruid. Sounds good. Wild growth has a X% chance to cause your next rejuvenation or regrowth to also apply to all allies within 8 yards of the target. That sounds really strong. That sounds really cool. I do like that. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Let's go to Tranquil Mind. Tranquility no longer requires you to channel for its duration. For until cancelled after activating Tranquility, all cast time spells are instant cast. So you don't have to channel it anymore, so you can just, Tranquility, you can activate it, and then, as long as Tranquility is up, all spells with a cast time are instant. That's very strong as well. That could be some great burst healing. It's kind of like the empowered tree form in what we have right now. I forgot its name, but please excuse me. But if you go into tree form as a druid, you also have one spell that becomes all spells get X amount of get a haste buff. Basically, they're casting faster, but also one heal is getting instant. Right now in Wallace Draenor, but this is really cool as well. This could be a really solid choice for some if you really need extensive healing on a certain amount in the on a certain part of a boss fight, you need an insane amount of healing. This could really help you out, because not only you don't have to stand still to cast Tranquility, you can also do a lot of burst healing with all your heals being instant. Very strong talent. So let's go over to Dreamwalker. Every every X amount of cost of Swiftment or Regrowth causes your mind to fully shift into the Emerald Dream. Increases the healing rate of your heal over time spells by X amount of percentage for until cancelled. Okay. From all three, Tranquil Mind sounds very strong, and Power of the Archdruid sounds really good as well. Again, it's up to the mathematicians to do the math for us, because Wild Growth has an X% of chance to cause your next rejuvenation or regrowth to apply to all allies within 8 yards of the target. Especially if you're healing tanks and melee, this could be very strong. It kind of depends on your role as a rested druid. If you have Power of the Archdruid, I'm sure you want to use you should be on the melee, to be honest. You should be. Hey, I'm a rested druid. The way I look at this talent, I'm a rested druid. I want to have people in 8 yards of each other. That's melee. I want to heal melee. Power of the Archdruid would be my go-to pick. But Tranquil Mind is so strong as a cooldown ability. It's so strong that I would actually, yeah, I think I would go for this, because it would help your raid out so much if there is on a really difficult boss fight, which you need a lot of healing, and there's a lot of shit going on. This can save your raid. So yeah, this would be my pick. So now we have to select a route to get there. So Natural Mending increases the healing of Swiftment. Okay. We have different routes. Wow, I could select a lot of talents to get there. So many ways to get over here. Seriously, I don't want to go over every talent just by itself and then just saying, oh yeah, we already have talked about all the different talents. Let's just, the shortest route. Let's just have a look at the shortest route. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it doesn't matter. Okay, this is the longest route, so we can skip on this route going down here. Increases the healing of Swiftment. Okay. And Grove Walker increases the healing of your healing over time cells by 6%. Yeah, you are a hotter as a druid. I believe, and still, once again, mathematicians can work it out. I would actually, right now, I want to check this out. Seed of the World Tree. Living Seed gains 20% additional value from critical heals. Okay. Life Bloom causes its burst of healing every 8 seconds while it's active. Okay, screw it. I'm going to go with Grove Walker. Increases the healing of your healing over time spells by 6%. Sounds legit. Sounds really cool. Then we're gonna go for repetitive blooming. Needs replacement. Okay, I'm not sure how this is going to work. Life Bloom causes its burst of healing every 8 seconds while it's active. Okay, so it's a shorter amount. If we pick this talent, Life Bloom can do its burst of healing probably more often. So let's just go with this. So then up next is Armor of the Ancients. Iron Bark reduces damage taken by an additional 10%. That's really good, cool, because we're gonna use our Iron Bark on tanks and whatnot, so that's a solid talent. So, then we can move down here. Blessing of the World Tree. Increases the direct healing of regrowth and healing touch by 6%, okay. Decent talent, just some healing increase. And then we can select Tranquil Mind. Okay. So, that's our first route. Now, once again, I'm just picking what kinda sounds good and trying to do the shortest way to get to an elite talent. So, I'm not advising you how to spec, I'm just picking around which sounds kinda logic to me and just trying to get as quick as I can to the elite talents. And I'll leave it out to the professional players, the mathematicians and all the theory crafters to select the proper talent. So don't take this as advice. Let's just try to select a route to get as fast to the elite talents and don't go butchering me for, oh, you picked the wrong talents, yada yada yada. I'm sure I will make mistakes and we don't know if we can. I'm just picking out these routes. It could be that we need that our choices, and that's something that's on MMO Champions. Right now we can make any route, make any choice. It could be in the future that if you pick a route, you have to choose between talents. So let's say I'm picking the Grove Walker. I need to follow these these talents, and I can't pick Nature's Grace because I choose to go to Grove Walk and then to Repetitive Blooming. So I won't be able to take Nature Essence, or I won't be able to take Nature and Natural Mending. We don't know yet. So it's all subject to change. I'm just here for fun, just for fun to take a look at the talents. And just select a route to get as fast as possible to the elite talents. Because in my mind, elite talents are there for a reason. They must be very powerful, so let's just try to select them first and just think of a nice route to get there, which just makes in general sense. That's what I'm trying to do in these videos. So right now, we have again different choices to make, so let's have a look. We can go to Seeds of the World Tree. Do like the names in these talents. Druid's got some really nice titles for the talents. Living Seeds gains 20% additional value from critical heals. Okay, crit is still is a chance-based percentage, so we don't know how good this is. So let's go down over here. Infusion of Nature reduces the mana cost of Wild Growth by 10%. Okay, I think I would pick that. Because if I keep more mana, I can cast more heals. Just my 2 cents. Persistence increases the duration of your damage and healing over time spells by 2 seconds. Okay, that sounds really. Yeah, I would pick that. Let's pick that up. I mean, it sounds really good. I mean, the duration of your healing over time spells increase. That's really good. You are a hodder after all, so sounds like a really good healing upgrade. So now we have Knowledge of the Ancients. Again, sounds really cool. Increases mana regeneration by 6%. Yes, please. I want more mana regeneration always. And now we have Power of the Archdruid. Wild Growth has a 0%, has an X amount of chance to cause your next regeneration or regrowth to also apply to all allies within 8 yards of the target. Once again, if you want to heal your tanks and melee, this is a really solid choice. This is really good. I do like this talent a lot. That's a lot of healing, and since melee is usually stacked up on each other around 8 yards, that could be really, really good. 1 second, guys. Sorry, my throat is really bad today. So now we have some talents left. And we want to go to the elite talent. So I'm gonna skip over this one. Increases the healing of Swiftman. That's still, especially with Power of the Archdruid, it's very good. Because let's say you're saying as a Rested Druid, let's say you're doing 20 mana mythic, and just for argument's sake, let's say you are the Rested Druid, you're gonna be like, I'm going to heal the melee. Yeah, I'm just spitballing here, but I'm going to heal the melee. You want to use Power of the Archer, but you also want to cast your Swiftman below your melee in your tanks. So this could be really good upgrade as well. Swiftman is really good. We have Nature's Essence. Wild Growth grants X% of its total healing amount immediately. Oh, that's very good as well. I want to get as fast as the elite talent. Let's just pick this. Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna move on. Then we have Essence of Nordrasil. Reduces the cast time of Healing Touch by 20%. Okay, that's really good. And in total it becomes 30%. That's very nice. Now we unlocked Dreamwalker. Every X amount of cost of Swiftment or Regrowth causes your mind to fully shift into the Emerald Dream, increasing the healing rate of your Heal of Time spells by X amount of percentage until cancelled. So, increasing the healing rate of your Heal of Time spells. So this sounds really good. So we don't know how many casts it takes. We have to wait and see. You go into the Emerald Dream. Now, they can't teleport you. You know, like, there are a lot of mechanics going down at a boss fight. And you're like, oh, Dreamwalker procs, bye, I'm in the Emerald Dream. That would be, you would just teleport away from the battlefield. But I do hope that you get some green fog. Maybe, well, fog is not. Maybe the edges of your screen will become green, yeah, like a green kind of circle around your screen on the outer edges. And then it would be nice that we see some, like some ancient trees, you know, being in those green shadows on the edges of your screen, or some drakes from the Emerald Dream, you know, just around the edge of your screen in that green foggy area around your screen. There are some green drakes and some ancient trees standing there, and you know Dreamwalker pops, and you know your cost, the healing rate of your healing over time, and the healing of your healing over time spells is increased, because you see that visual on your screen, and you see those ancient ancient trees and those emerald drakes around the edges of your screen helping you heal. That would be giving you their power. That would be really cool. It could be a really nice visual. I hope Blizzard will make something here, because we have seen some talents that are visual really attractive, and so far in the rest of Druid, I'm not seeing it yet, and I really hope that the Dreamwalker talent will give you something very cool. It has some potential that Blizzard is going to do a really cool visual with that, but it can't be too much, because you still want to. That's why I'm saying it needs to be around the edges of your screen, so you still can see the stuff going around. You can still see your healing add-on, you can still see the mechanics, you can still see that there is shit being cast on the ground. You're still being able to keep a clean sight of your raid. But if you have around the edges of your screen a little bit of green fog with some on the right side of your screen, and an ancient tree, and on the left side an emerald dream, and that kind of an emerald drake, that kind of stuff, that would be really cool. So as our final two picks, we have, oh, I thought we I skipped over talents. Oh no, that's like my route. Now I thought I skipped on something. Sorry, I got confused. So moving on, we have Mark of Shifting. While in travel, cat, or bear form, you permanently have rejuvenation on yourself. Okay, this is, it can help you. Well, no, I would go for Natural Mending. I mean, increases the healing of Swiftment. Yes, that would be my go-to pick. My final pick would be, then we can choose between Seeds of the World Tree or Mark of Shifting. I would go for Seeds of the World Tree. Living Seeds gain 20% additional value from critical heals. Yes. And I would use Mark of the Shifting as final. While in travel, cat, or bear form, you permanently have rejuvenation on yourself. It's only when you're moving, you have a heal on yourself. Okay, maybe it makes a talent viable that if I need to move, if I'm in a shitty position, I need to move from A to B. I have to run for a moment. I need to go into get form. I need to use my dash. I will travel through some shit, or the boss will, in that meantime, a ability of a boss will go off, I will take some damage, but I have a heal on myself, then it's viable. But it's the least viable talent, in my opinion, across the board. It's still, everything is subject to change. Anyways, this concludes our look of the Restoration Druid. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of the Druid in general. It's a very long video, I'm sorry, but there's 3 specs to go over, all with their own talents and stuff. So yeah, it's a really long video. I apologize for that. I could split it up in 3 different videos. I'm not sure I want to do that. I'll see. I'm still not decided on that yet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next time. This is Doctorian, the Disc Guy from Drenthe, wishing you guys a very nice day. Hope you guys had a great weekend, and until next time, guys, bye bye.